Hi, we are here today with Melissa Sadanaga talking about an assignment they did in her ELA course. So tell us about your assignment.
So for English, we're using the Gen Ed curriculum, My Perspectives, and for each unit, there's a essential question. For this one is, what does it take to survive? So everything we do with that, every story, every excerpt, everything relates back to that question. So they were working in a small group and listened to a story, went over comprehension together and just in their small groups. And then I could kind of monitor and listen to what they were talking about. And then they had to come together as a whole group and we discussed the questions, got everybody kind of feeling the same thing, and looking at the essential question of what does it take to survive, looking for like common themes that they might have talked about. And then we brought those out, like that there's physical survival. In this case, they were listening to Life of Pi. So like he had to learn how to fish and that was a physical survival. He had to stay in a lifeboat away from the tiger so he didn't get eaten, which would be a physical survival. But then the emotional piece of it of there's long days and worrying and stress. The whole idea was that they thought about the whole spectrum of survival between physical and emotional. So after that discussion, they went back to their little small groups and they were told individually they're going to pick a passage about what it takes to survive. And I gave them this Canvas assignment. Choose a passage, then choose a platform to share that passage, and then submit it here when you're done. And I went over with them what a passage is. In this case, it's just a quote from the text, and how to cite it. Just put the paragraph with it. That's all we're looking for. Nice and simple. And then we went through a toolbox of platforms. So I picked like 8 different things and held them up, and we discussed like, would Pictochart be a good platform for this? And the kids are like, no, that wouldn't make sense. Then I went through several. They had chosen Adobe Spark. They chose Flipgrid. They chose Docs. They chose Slides. And I was like, this is going to be awesome. In my head, I'm thinking these are going to be beautiful, amazing passages. I'm imagining like the Life of Pi poster in the background. So they went off to work, did their stuff, and then submitted them back here.
All right. And so take us to Speed Grader and let's take a look at what you got.
So they turn them all in. And in my class, when students turn in assignments, because I have a small class, I almost always show them on the big screen under Speed Grader. And it's a quick way for us to reflect on everybody's assignments and discuss them if there were things that came up. One of the cool things with it is I can grade it right there and they get immediate feedback. So if they didn't get the amount of points that it was out of, then I can tell them right away, like, hey, this is where you missed points. If you want to earn those points back, just resubmit it. And sometimes they do, not always. They're high schoolers. So I showed them up on the board, and as I clicked through them and the kids were presenting what they chose and talking about it, we were able to see almost all of them are docs. They submitted a doc. Sorry, I have kids in here that don't actually belong in my class. They're just people. That's fine. I got all docs and one slide, and this one slide doesn't even have a passage written on it. It's just right here. Oh, if there's a passage, it just doesn't show up on my blank screen. So it was just in really poor font. Now I know. So going through, I at first was disappointed in, like I had these visions of really cool graphics and nice font and that movie poster in the background, and I got docs. And it took me a minute to swallow my, disappointment and realize the kids got exactly what they needed to out of this assignment. They were able to comprehend the text and apply it to the essential question, what does it take to survive? And they did it in the easiest, quickest format they could. And it met all of the mastery requirements. So
that's wonderful. Now, just as we wrap up here, this piece with Speed Grader, to me, this is exciting because this has become a reflection feedback piece that is live in the classroom with the kids. Do the kids contribute to this feedback system at all?
Yeah, it's pretty cool because when stuff comes up, so like when this slide came up on the big screen, it did not, you couldn't see any of this font in the background here. So the kids were like, your assignment's not there. And so he wouldn't have gotten all of the points for it. and except that I had been working one-on-one with him, so I knew he had done it. If this had been light like this and we had seen it on the screen, then it would have been immediate feedback for like, you should probably use a font that we can read, like black, which helps. Then there's things like you could see some of the other ones didn't have citations on them. And so the kids were told, hey, you need to go back through and do your citations. For this assignment, because I was kind of running out of time, I just told them, tell me what paragraph it's in. So I didn't have them go back and redo the assignment for the full credit on it, but I did have them make sure they told me where it was from so that we can move forward with the next one. And then you can see, like, as they're going through, I will try and comment back on SpeedGrader so that they get a little bit of feedback that stays with them other than the verbal feedback.
Excellent. Thank you so much. This is an exciting piece that shows that ultimately the technology serves the content, and sometimes the kids even get that better
Yes,
than we do.
They do.
But I also love the reflection piece.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.